long. It's just like a strip of dripping silver around the neck that a woman is supposed to wear.
And Joey says it looks horrible when she's wearing it. It's supposed to
Are we
look like
back?
molten metal or something.
Every time my show starts, I say, "Is this real TV?"
Is this for real TV?
I think it's funny when I say that.
I think it is too.
Well, we're back.
We're back. Sorry for the
Tbog 2. It's
2.0.
It's Reverse World Tbog, where Joey's the host. No, I'm just kidding. Matt's still the host.
But
some smart ass in our comments in the last episode
what a dingleberry.
said it made more sense when our sound went off. Can we turn our sound off just for that person? I'll tell you what. Can we send that person some instructions on how to mute their computer? Whoa. Burn. I burned him.
Anywho, where did we leave off?
We were telling a scary story.
Heroin tracks.
Well, I was just saying my dog dented my elbow, the inside of my elbow with a puncture wound. It looks like I do drugs now.
And now everybody thinks you are a heroin addict.
If I want to shoot heroin, I'd do it between my toes.
Nice idea. Between your toes, or where's the other places you can shoot it? Like your jugular?
All kinds of places. All kinds of places.
Ooh, let me count the way.
As you run out of places, it gets more and more painful.
So I've heard. I was about to tell a gut-wrenching story about myself that I'm deeply ashamed of.
Do it.
Wait, see.
Rip it like a Band-Aid.
We were talking about maturity and how we think how I think I've grown. Do you think you've grown since teenager?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But this is a time when I was 16. I just got my car.
But I will say that I'm not sure that there are too many things that happened to me as a teenager that I could say for sure wouldn't happen now, except for the drug part. And I can relay that later. But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to hear that right after. This.
Yeah.
But I wasn't saying that to be.
Yeah. Well, there's something else I wanted to talk about, but you're crowding this. That's okay. You've been gone for a few weeks. You got a lot to talk about apparently.
All right, listen up. I was 16. I thought I was, king of the world. I was high off marijuana. I think we were talking about that before.
High off of the ganja.
Right, but
bong, joint, or brownie.
Blunt.
Blunt.
Yeah, he smoked a big Philly blunt.
Basically a joint.
Basically a joint.
I said joint.
Yeah.
I got it.
But blunt with cigar paper.
Just a bigger.
Yeah, cigar paper.
Oh, it is specifically with cigar paper.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a big joint that looked like a cigar.
I think this was a Swisher Sweet. We used Swisher Sweets, Phillies, and Optimos. They were the hardest to roll because they were like the green. It was like a weird green leaf. Anyway, now I was high, but off weed, but I do not contribute my actions to the marijuana because marijuana doesn't make you angry and stuff like that. I was just a dickhead. I was just it was all me. I would have done it if I was.
I think it does influence your. I think it does like compromise your judgment.
It could, but it's usually for the positive. It's usually like, who cares? Like,
But doesn't it make you care less about the consequences of decisions as well? Like alcohol does.
I don't think marijuana does that. I know alcohol does, but I don't think marijuana makes you care less about that.
I think it does. I think it's different for everybody, but I mean, ultimately the effect is a dulling of the mind, and when your mind is dulled, you have a harder time making really thinking about stuff before you make a decision.
I can see that, but I've also had experiences where I've been in deep thought, or at least thought I was in deep thought.
Well, yeah, but that's not quite what I'm talking about. But anyways, you're being an asshole. Go ahead.
Right. It was just me being the asshole that I was, and I was.
Hey, could I get a volunteer servant? Anybody volunteer to be my servant for a minute? Could somebody go to the refrigerator and get me a Red Bull? It's an 8-ounce Red Bull.
Need an RB stat.
And you're welcome to get yourself one as well. As a tip As a tip for your service. Jack's just back there smiling real big. He's like, hell no, I ain't going.
The F you, man.
Forget this shit.
We love Jack. Well, okay. I was pulling up to the gas station to get some gas. And
Jack was bitching about her mixer earlier. I want to talk about that before the show's over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make this quick. And I had my radio up real loud. I always drove with it real loud no matter what. I don't care if I was pulling up into a nunnery or a child's daycare center. I would have this loud, offensive rap music on.
So as a teenager, you were on a regular basis pulling up into nunneries and daycare centers.
No, I'll just give those as
you
examples.
You didn't even care that you were doing it.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
I'm saying if I would have, which I didn't drive it to a nunnery. I don't even know where a nunnery is. But
that's because you were high when you did it.
Right. Google Maps wasn't out yet, so I didn't know how to get there. But I was just saying, I didn't care where I was or who heard it. I had my radio
Siri,
up loud as hell.
Looking for a nunnery. Don't you call it a nunnery? It's called a convent.
Is it?
Yeah.
Convent.
Is nunnery even a word? Is nunnery a word?
Nunnery. I don't want ne'er nunnery this cornbread.
You know, I wouldn't even care if I was pulling up into a childery. You mean an orphanage?
A childreary school.
Oh,
nice catch.
You are the wrong person.
Anyway, I had
on me.
This one particular song turned up max volume.
Look, they've obviously worked in the back playing catch with this.
He must have
dented like in 3 or 4 different places.
Hey, I'll show you to get me now. Ha!
Spiked it before he gave it to me. Sorry.
I had it way up, and there's this particular song by a certain artist named Brother Lynch Hung. That's his name.
Still one of your favorite artists, as I understand.
He is. But
that's one thing that you haven't matured in.
My taste of music. But my thinking of the lyrics, I kind of changed the lyrics to fit my own. You know, what do they say? Words have no meaning, only
usage. Yeah.
Right. So I
so you'd interpret.
Right.
Filter.
Right.
You would interpret everything that he said about
killing
female
babies,
private parts,
and ripping up,
and gangster activities as a love for Jesus.
Probably not a love for Jesus, but was
like when he talked about
letting out your anger,
about bleeding one of his bros. You would think about it as like the sacrifice that Jesus made for your sins.
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay, all right.
All about Jesus. Anyway, I had it up real loud, and the name of the song is called "Rest in Piss." Okay.
Which you interpreted as peace.
No, back then I interpreted it straight up piss. But now when I listen to, I don't listen to it as
like
as
the
much
filth of our
anymore.
sins. Piss isn't like the filth of our.
Yes.
Of our.
It is our transgressions flowing out of our bodies.
You would date these Christian girls, and you'd ask them if they wanted to come and go for a ride with you and listen to your Christian music.
Right. I'd get all these Christian girls.
Why your girlfriend's
I'd get all these nice Christian girls come and listen to
Try to explain to them your interpretation of the words.
Now, see, when he says he's pissing on your dead body in his grave, that is saying he's getting rid of your transgressions, leaving your body
through his wiener,
through the wiener of the Lord Jesus Christ. When he now, I know that it might sound bad, but
I want to apologize to the staff of the 700 Club who watches our show on a regular basis.
But think about it. When people are crucified, it's not a pretty picture. I'm sure he got stabbed in lots of places, and that same blood covered your sins.
He was thinking of you.
So they say. Now,
he was thinking of you when he wet his loincloth.
Right. When he bled through his loincloth, it was all for you. So you won't be killed and punished by his Father.
Blasphemy, sir.
Which was him.
We just lost our last Christian viewer.
Okay, let's bring him back.
Okay, let's rewind this. Let's reel this back.
Okay, all right. Stay with the Christians. So
just interpret everything that we said through the lens
right.
of the Jesus Christ.
Right. That you understand to know.
That's right.
Okay, so the name of the song was "Rest in Piss," and I had it real out. And this song is very offensive. If you know, it's horrible. But it's got a nice beat, and he has a unique rap pattern style. Anyway, I like his stuff. So had it up super loud, windows down. I was filling up my gas, and there was this old guy filling up his gas too. And I wasn't thinking nothing of it. I was just filling my gas, listening to the music, feeling good. And he's
you were one of those jackasses.
Yeah. And but I wasn't saying nothing to him or anything. I was just filling my music. I mean, filling the music and filling my tank. And it was like, yeah, fuck you, rest in peace, blah, blah, blah. And then this was super loud. And
don't phrase it as I wasn't doing anything. I was just listening to my music.
But everybody has a right.
As a white man who fills his gas and listens to other cars blasting MFer and thumping my bald head back, I can say that it isn't just listening to music. It's quite invasive.
Right, but I preface this story with I was a young asshole, so I don't feel the need to defend myself because
as a middle-aged white man, let me clarify that because plenty of white folks such as yourself.
Listen,
young white punks.
Don't persecute me.
You still like this.
Don't persecute me
now. You
love
to thump the music.
Don't persecute me now for something I did when I was 16 and I'm sharing.
You still like to thump the music with the windows down.
If I pull up to a gas station, I turn it down, especially if it's offensive to other people. You don't know me, sir.
You're probably right.
And most of the time, I'm listening to NPR. Like,
yeah, but you
wait, don't tell me.
You thump it.
But it's not really offensive.
Well, it is to,
to rednecks, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I can't please everybody. But this is the part I was getting to.
Dong, dong, dong! Thank you for listening to NPR! Sir, your music is offending me. It's not music. It's not.
Donate to NPR! I hate that educational stuff, boy. You're offending me. Wow,
this week on This American Life.
And the same guy telling me that has God hates fags printed on the back of his 4x4. But anyway, back to the story. I was 16. I'm saying I was an asshole. Nothing I did in this situation was right. So the guy started yelling at me. Cut that goddamn music off. You brother. He was like straight up cussing me. And which, he was probably like a World War II veteran, and I'm just some 16-year-old punk, and I just start cussing him out just furiously.
You were cussing him out?
Well, after he started cussing me out,
yeah.
Then it's like a cussing match. But nowadays, there'd be no way I would cuss out some super old guy. First of all, I would, if I was listening to a song called "Rest in Piss," I would probably turn it down a little bit, and so he couldn't hear it and get offended. But anyway, yeah, I just said the most awful stuff to him while I was pumping my gas. I just kept pumping it. I didn't care. I was just, you old, eat your mother, your grandmother, everybody. Oh man. And then I got back into my car. And there were like two other people in my car who joined in with me.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it was ugly. And that's still one of the things I've done when I was young. I still think about that to this day. I was like, dude, if I could just see that guy, well, he's probably dead now because he was old as shit. But but if I'd apologize to him. But that's the story that I regret a lot. And there was one time, we don't have time for that story. I'll tell that story next. Another shameful story. But yeah, I've grown a lot since then, and I'm very thankful for that because I would not want to live my life like that now. That would be a horrible way to live, going around hating everybody who disagrees with you or your taste in music or tells you to turn something down. Even if somebody said, turn that damn music down, I'll try to maybe have a reasonable conversation with them. Well, I'm just listening to a little Weezer, man.
Before I turn it down, can you please speak to me politely?
Right. If you say please, I will.
That wouldn't end well. Nobody that would cuss you out would respond well to you asking for polity before you.
That's true. Turn that motherfucking music down. Well, if you say please, I certainly will, sir. You think I'm gonna say please, motherfucker? But no, I would have handled it a lot different, and I'm glad that I've grown, and I hope I keep growing.
Why are you moving my cooling system? Don't move my cooling system.
There's still a lot of stuff today that I need to work on. But
Sean, do I understand correctly that we will not be airing Elephant in the Womb? All right, so Elephant in the Womb has been canceled, which means we have a little bit of extra time today.
That's a Groucho Marx joke. I shot an elephant in my pajamas yesterday. How he got in my pajamas, I don't know.
Yeah. No, you got to say it like how he got in my pajamas. I don't know.
Yeah, see?
That's not there, Mark.
I'm trying to get to it.
Crook.
Hold on.
What's that crook's name? Copper.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that played that
Never
part?
catch me alive, Copper. I think there were several of them, but there was one who did it perfect.
The original one.
Yeah. I want to say, I don't know. I do watch Turner Classic Movies a lot, and I see that guy every once in a while. But yeah, I love the way they talked in movies back then. It was beautiful. Like the films from like the 30s, 40s, 20s. I think they had some talkies in the 20s, and they just talked.
They did.
Did they?
I have no idea. I really don't know.
Anyway, they talk. It's like they talk perfect English, it seems, and everybody's a gentleman, real nice. All the women are nice, and they speak perfect. And
because the silent movies, the fashion of those silent movies is 1920s at best. And so either they're making movies in the 1920s or they're making movies about them in the 1920s, meaning that the 1920s is in the past, and they're doing silent films.
Could be. I know the date 1918 is a significant date. I don't know if that was the first talkie or the first silent movie.
I mean, when they first did silent movies, they couldn't put any sort of sound on film.
Right.
You would have to go into a theater and there'd be somebody literally playing the piano while the movie was playing.
Dude, I wish we could, or I wish we had something like they do in like Los Angeles. They have stuff like that over there where you can go call like Cinefamily or something like that, and you can go see old movies and like silent movies, and they'll play the piano, and they got all kind of cool stuff over there.
I don't think I could get into that. I mean, there's a reason why movies aren't like that anymore.
I know, but you couldn't go to a movie theater and watch like an old film with a bunch of people. That'd be fun.
I could certainly watch a silent film as a part of a larger performance. Like if there was like maybe 5 or 10 minutes of it, but I couldn't sit for 30 minutes to an hour of a silent film.
I could do 30 minutes.
I could do it once and then be like, I'm never doing that shit again.
I don't think they made them that long, did they?
I don't know.
I can do about 30 minutes. But it would be great to like go to a theater and see like with a bunch of people, like on a big screen, see Yankee Doodle Dandy. Love that movie. It's who's that guy? He's a dancer. Cagney. Forgot his name.
Baryshnikov.
Yeah. Vladimir Putin.
No, Baryshnikov is a dancer.
Oh, really?
Famous Russian dancer. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, this was an American guy.
I think I got his name. I think it's Nikolai.
No, Gene Kelly. I think that's it.
Kelly.
Gene Kelly. Yeah. But anyway, what were we talking about?
I have no idea.
We got sidetracked by movies. Anyway, don't tell me about Game of Thrones last week because I still have not watched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife and I are watching that show together now.
Nice.
We usually watch it right after I get home from doing these shows, producing these shows. And I'll get home and watch it, and then delete. It's gone.
Yeah, I've gotten Mom into it. She came over, I think, last 2 Mondays and watched some and caught up. She didn't catch up on all the seasons, but on this season.
It's pretty validating that your mom and my wife have gotten into it,
right?
because especially in some of the earlier episodes, there's so much like just blatant, like almost, if not actually pornographic scenes.
That's true.
And
that goes to show you that it's got a deep story.
I mean, I wouldn't. I promise you, I wouldn't watch that show if that was. I wouldn't watch it if that's all it was, and I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't even watch it if it was reasonably entertaining and had that. I wouldn't watch it.
Right. It's got to have.
I would use it as a reason not to watch it. I'd be like, it's a good show, but I'm not watching it because of this reason. But the show is so great. I mean, it is an epic fantasy show.
Yes.
I feel like it could be just as good without all the nudity and just blatant sexuality there. But I excuse it,
Yeah, I think it could be just as good.
And move on when it's over.
Yeah, but I think they asked either the creators or they asked the creators and George R. Martin about the over the top sex scenes.
Right.
And I think what Martin said was, we wanted to show what sex is really like. We didn't want to just show two people leaning in to kiss and then all of a sudden it fades to black. Like, we wanted to show the down and dirty, gritty.
Yeah, I understand that argument, and I even understand it to the point of pretty much buying it and excusing it for that reason. But I think the question that I ask myself is, if they did skip those and everything else was exactly the same, would I like to show anything any less? To which I think the answer is no. I wouldn't like it any less.
But some of the sex scenes are kind of important to the story, because some people have to have sex to confirm their marriage, or to a lot of people who are having sex are either manipulating the person they're having sex with,
right,
or gaining something like Khaleesi with the Drago. She had to do that.
Do you ever look away during the sex scene?
I don't. No. I'm a single man.
So you.
If I was married,
so you sit and you just full on stare at the gay sex scenes.
Yeah.
Just like ass to crotch. Just like, yeah.
Yeah, I watch the show. Why not watch?
So I thought I was trapping you into something.
No.
I guess not.
But it was the week before last where that one guy who's bisexual.
Yeah.
Him and his wife were with another woman and a guy. Yeah. No, I just watch it. But if I had a relationship or was married, I would probably turn my head because I wouldn't want my wife to think that
Yeah, it's disrespectful.
Yeah, it is disrespectful. Even I see people.
But I can watch the gay sex scenes. That's not disrespectful.
Oh yeah, you can watch.
Because she knows I'm gay. So, I'm not gay, so
right.
I can just sit and watch those. Yeah.
Yeah, just watch those all you want. In fact, they probably have a DVD extra.
Just the cut, just those scenes.
Yeah, like 45 minutes of straight up gay sex.
Straight up Game of Thrones sex.
Game of Thrones. Game of Bones. Oh, that one was clever. Yeah, I've seen couples walk around, and the guy would see like some hot chick, and she is hot, and he'd make a remark like, "Damn, would you look at that?" Like right next to his wife or girlfriend,
Right.
and I'm like, ugh, it makes me cringe because that's got to make the woman feel awkward, and then I've seen the women do it to men also. They say, "Ooh, look at that."
Yeah.
Instead of
There are also the
whatever
couples
they say.
where the guy's like, "Hey, look at that hottie," and the girl's like, "Hey, yeah, look at she is quite hot."
Yeah, but maybe they're doing that to.
She says it just
take
like
out
that.
the awkwardness.
Yes, she is quite hot.
Yeah, she is rather hot.
She's a hottie.
A nice hottie.
H-A-W-T.
Hottie with a nice body. So are we dipping into the Elephant in the Room show a little bit?
Yeah, but they canceled their show, so.
Okay. I got.
Well, we can wrap it up.
Yeah, I got like 15 minutes. Let's do another 10 minutes and wrap it up because I got to take someone somewhere.
What?
I just got a text that said come over now.
Text them back. No.
Hold on. Keep talking.
Do the right thing. No, I want to see what you're going to text them. No, N-O, I am busy. I have important things to do here at this studio. Leave me alone. I hate you.
It's my mom.
Our relationship is over.
It's my mother, and it's Mother's Day. Keep talking.
I can't fill this space.
I said just a minute. The show's almost finished.
Well, I will show this book that I got.
Yeah, and you wanted to talk about Jack.
Oh, yeah.
That's what.
There may not be time to talk about Jack.
What is that?
Jack's spot might be overrun by this thing right here. So I told you a few weeks back, I think it was the last show we did, that one of my favorite artists, cartoonists, was Berkeley Breathitt.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a huge mistake on that show. I don't know if I had a chance. I think I corrected it on my art show comic strips. But I said that he drew Doonesbury, which he doesn't. And if I thought about it, I would have known that. But I made that mistake a lot when I was a kid. I thought that he drew Doonesbury, and then I found out, well, he didn't draw Doonesbury. And for some reason, I thought the styles were similar as a kid. But he drew Bloom County.
Bloom County.
Yeah, and he actually, admits to taking a lot stylistically, etc., from Doonesbury.
Okay.
But he is quite distinct. I like his comics much more than Doonesbury. But this is volume 4 of a compilation of all of the comic strips that appeared in newspapers during his day. This is 1986 through 1987. Nice. And
so he would do daily or weekly?
So 2 years worth of comic strips. It's daily. It would be daily. So it's laid out as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's this pattern: 1, 2, 3,
mm-hmm.
4, 5, 6 shorts, and then a long full color one. So this one obviously appeared on Sunday.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So this is in the big Sunday paper, but this, I mean, going back and reading this comic strip, I realize, and this is going to be blasphemous to some comic enthusiasts, but because Bill Watterson is such a legend, and I love Calvin and Hobbes. It is Calvin and Hobbes. Is I would say it has been over the years perhaps my favorite. But I bought a Treasury of Calvin and Hobbes, and I bought this, and I've been reading them back and forth, and I have to say that this is my favorite comic strip. Yeah, I have to switch it up because this guy's ability to tell stories and just the quality of his artwork and the animation that he can portray in a single panel. I mean, look at that panel right there. Look at how much action and I mean, it's just a funny strip just looking at it. Just that one panel.
Say, how about you and me catch some ball games? Drink a few brews, scream a few vulgarities at women.
Isn't that funny?
Yes,
just the one panel. Just the one panel. I mean, and it is just constant. I mean, even when the guy doesn't have some like catchy punchline, just the things that all the characters are doing from panel to panel is just hilarious. There's this one that made me laugh really hard last night, and I had to share it with my wife. I don't know if I can find it now because it's probably just a few pages back. Let's see here.
So the guy, did you say who does do Doonesbury? Who really does?
Trudeau, something Trudeau. I can't remember his first name.
We'll call him Trudeau. Pudo
okay,
Trudeau.
you do that. Okay. You call him that.
Shout out to Pudo Trudeau for the Doonesbury's.
Let's see if I can find that one strip.
Is Calvin and Hobbes the one he has like no eyes? They're just like
little dots. Yeah, he has eyes, but they're normally just simple dots or tiny little circles.
Okay.
Yeah, here's the one that made me laugh. I don't know. I thought, well, I'm not going to share a comic strip on air because this is going to be really dorky. But this full color one right here. So it puts the record on, and okay, nobody's zooming in. Okay, that's all right.
Okay.
Well, it's not worth sharing if nobody's going to zoom in. Okay, we're zoomed in. Okay. So this guy's name is Opus, and he's a penguin. Okay.
All right.
And he's probably the most famous character of this strip. But he puts the record on, and then he's jamming to his rock and roll. He's air guitaring, and he flips around, and then he turns around, and his friends are watching him, and they're clapping. And it says right here, fatally embarrassed, the famous air guitarist slumps dead and deflated, and one of his friends is standing on top of him yelling, "Should I let the air groupies in now?" Which is hilarious.
I like that one.
Yeah. But it's just so well drawn. And what I didn't expect was, I think I paid $24 for this.
That's not bad.
And I wasn't expecting it to be hardback. It's hardback, and the spine is foil stamped.
Nice.
And it's just
it's quality.
Pretty epic little book. And I think I'm going to get all of them slowly over the next few months. But
which volume is that?
This is volume 4. I wanted to get one where his style, his art and style had matured, because almost all cartoonists when they begin, and I think Bill Watterson might be an exception to this, but most cartoonists when they begin their strip, their style and the quality of their art hasn't matured yet. They're great artists, but they haven't really gotten into the rhythm and the flow of what their comic is and what it should look like.
Right.
Like if you look at early Garfield strips, have you ever seen early Garfield strips? Garfield's eyes are like small,
right.
And he's sketched much more than he is now. Now he's now it's all these pristine lines, and he's got these big eyes that kind of go together. I mean, they were separate eyeballs, like really small.
Oh, that would look weird.
Yeah, it was weird. When I was a kid, I got the first Garfield, and I looked at it, and I was like, I thought I got the wrong book or the wrong artist,
Some freaky Dutch version.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back and I'll get his beginning strips, but most cartoonists don't have the voice. They don't even have the voice down of their comic strip until a couple of years into it, really.
Right.
And so this is 2 years worth, and this is volume 4. So I guess he'd probably been drawing it for about 6 years prior to this, at least.
Nice. Yeah, you got to build up that experience and wisdom to find your voice. That's what I've heard in a lot of professions, the entertainment professions and stuff.
Sure.
It takes time. And you're talking about.
I think stand-up comedians will tell you, if you ask them what it takes to become a great stand-up comedian, they'll tell you you've got to get up and do it for 10 years.
You got to get up there and fail and still want to come back, and fail and still want to come back.
But I've heard like Chris Hardwick, and I've heard some other people say the same thing, that it takes 10 years before you really find your voice on stage.
Yeah. I heard Lewis Black, Chris Hardwick asked him, how long did it take you to find your voice as a comedian? And Lewis Black said just like that, 12 years. And then I think Chris Hardwick is kind of still trying to find his from what I have heard from his.
Really? No, I don't think so.
I think
he's been doing it a long time.
No, he's real good. No, I'm not saying he's bad at all. But I think he said I could have swore from a few podcasts I've heard from him.
You listen to The Nerdist?
Yeah, that he.
I don't remember him saying that.
He said he's still trying to listen to the one with him and Bob Saget.
I did listen to that one. I don't remember him saying that.
I think he
I think you're lying.
No. I may have misheard it, but I could have sworn because he talks a lot about comedians finding their voice, and that he asks every comedian that same question, because either he's just now trying to
this is like
find his place,
atheists
or
trying to disprove the existence of God. In order to disprove what you're saying, we would have to sit here on the show, and I'd have to play every second of that show so we could observe. Never in one moment did he make that statement.
I'm gonna have to listen to it again. Actually, I probably won't, but I think he said he's still trying to find.
I don't know. It doesn't matter, but I've never gotten that impression from him.
But he's a great comedian, and he's actually got a lot of. I first heard of him on Attack of the Show on G4 TV. He was good on that, and then he did his podcast. Now he's kind of blown up a little bit. Have you watched At Midnight?
No, is it good?
Yeah, he's the host of that.
I don't watch that. I didn't watch that show because I don't know. I got a kind of a bad taste in my mouth for his video stuff when I watched Web Soup.
Web Soup. Yeah,
it's kind of like his Tosh.0
right.
sort of show. And I like Chris Hardwick, and I don't mean to put him down or anything, but I don't really like that show.
Yeah, I didn't watch.
He plays YouTube videos and then he says silly things about them.
Right. It's like
Daniel Tosh is the king of that genre.
Nobody else should even try.
Other people have, and they don't even touch what he's doing.
I believe Shaq has tried.
Really?
And he may still be doing it, yeah. And like you said, Web Soup, and there's another one. That Rob Dyrdek, Ridiculousness on MTV.
That one is kind of funny.
Well, it's a little different. He has panelists on to talk about it, but Rob Dyrdek himself.
That's the only show where I have actually enjoyed watching video clips of skateboarders whacking their crotch on rails. Normally, like if it's on America's Funniest Home Videos, I'm like, that's not funny.
Right, but when you got the actual skateboarders there,
and they're just not only busting a gut, but busting on the people that they're watching. It's funny. Like they showed one guy, one kid. It's the worst skateboard wreck I had ever seen in my life. Because the kid, it had nothing to do with the rail. Usually there's a handrail, but this kid flew off some steps, and he landed at the bottom, and he didn't get both of his feet on his skateboard. I think he got the first foot on it, and the skateboard popped up in between his legs, and he busted that skateboard in half with the pressure that he put on that skateboard with his testicles.
His taint and testicles and all that.
And he was screaming and wailing, and he was running around, and he was bleeding. Man. And his friends were like chasing him down. His friends talked him into letting them see it. They didn't show it on camera, but they showed him like looking at it, and they were all confirming that yes, it was bleeding.
Man, were his friends freaking out when they saw it? Because that'd make me forget it.
I think they were kind of trying to be sympathetic, but they were just like they were like laughing and stuff.
Jesus, have you? Steve-O has a new channel on YouTube. He's on YouTube now, and he's got
Steve-O?
Steve-O from Jackass.
Steve-O? I don't watch that guy.
He's gotten better. He's not as jackassy as he was. But he did this one stunt where this one guy was shooting a CO2 powered BB gun into his right butt cheek and made a smiley face out of it, and it showed it in slow motion. It was like point blank range. Like here's that butt cheek, and he shoots it, and it just boom, and then you could see the indention and the BB still in
the
there.
ripples.
Yeah. And it's just, he made a smiley face. And then after he took the BBs out, he took tattoo ink on his hand.
Oh.
Yeah. It's funny, man.
Have you seen that show? I can't remember what it's called, but it's 3 or 4 guys, and what they do is one of them will go out in public, and they'll have an earpiece on, and the other 3 will tell that guy what to say and do, and it's called it's like I can't handle this or something or
something like that. I've seen like 2 episodes of it.
Yeah, they have to bow out. If they bow out, they lose. If they say I can't take this or I can't take it anymore or something, then they lose that round. But otherwise, they have to do every single thing that the rest of their friends say and do, right there.
I'd be scared.
It is so funny because like one of them, the scenario was they would sit by a stranger in public, and then they would get up and they would ask that stranger to save their seat. And the goal was they had. Not only could they not walk away from the situation, but they had to get the stranger to save their seat, and the other person that come along, that stranger couldn't let them take it.
Right.
And they had to say whatever reason it was where they were going, they had to say that. And they made one guy say, and my son was watching this with him. He said, "Would you save my seat?" And his friends made him say, how did he phrase it? Like I got to go for a second wipe. Something. I got to go re-wipe. That's what he said. I got to go re-wipe. And so he said this to this guy, and this guy was just like, I mean, he wasn't laughing. He was like
shocked.
But my son thought that was so funny, and so for the rest of the night and the next day, he'd tell people, he'd say, "Hey, I'll be right back. I got to go re-wipe."
Gavin would say that. Nice.
And the other thing that he heard that he would tell people was he said I gotta they made one of the guys say, "Will you save my seat? I gotta go milk my grandpa." so I was telling people, "Hey, I'll be right back. I gotta go milk my grandpa."
Did Gavin hear that one?
Yeah, Gavin was saying that. Yeah, he was telling people he had to go milk his grandpa.
Hey, mommy, I'll be right back. I gotta go milk my grandpa.
He was in tears at that one.
Oh God, that's good stuff. That is very good stuff. I think we'll end on that because that was too good.
Yeah, that show, I wish I could remember what that show's called because it's one of those shows.
It's like on Spike, ain't it?
I usually don't like shows that create these awkward comedic situations.
Right.
But they, in order for me to enjoy it, it has to be so funny that it overpowers the tenseness,
Right.
And that's what this show's like.
Nice. They need to find out that name. I want to watch it. Oh, and Louis coming back. Or he may already have.
Yeah,
May 8th?
I saw the first 2 episodes. Yeah.
Man, I need to catch up on it. Yeah, I think it was
DVR'd that shit.
May 8th.
You didn't DVR it?
Well, see, I had got a new box, and it hasn't been on for me to record.
Gotcha.
Got that new Contour. I thought the Cox Contour is supposed to record 6 shows at once. That piece of shit does not. It records only 2. And then...
Well, it depends on how many TVs you have on. It's 6... When they say it'll record 6 shows at once, like Uverse is 4 shows. It'll record 4 shows at once. But what that means is that there are 4 streams.
Uh-huh.
So if you've got 4 TVs playing in the house, it won't even record 1 show unless you're watching that show.
Yes. I got it on two TVs, but 2 separate boxes. Okay. Now, we used to have 2 separate boxes before the Contour, the new Contour, Cox Contour, and I could record 2 shows in the living room and 2 totally different shows in my room. Can't do that now. If I'm recording two shorts,
well, you should be able to record 4 shows on a single TV.
I can't.
Yeah, that's what it. Uverse, it's only 3 actually. I mean, with Uverse on a single television, I can watch a show and record 3 other shows.
Right.
Because it all records to the same box. No matter what box you're in, those boxes connect to a central box in your house.
Well, that's Uverse though.
It probably works the same way with Cox too, though.
I don't know. I think with Cox, because I mean, I think each box has a hard drive in it.
Really?
And it goes to the hard drive. But maybe not with Contour now. Maybe it's just on one, like you said. But they used to have it set up where I could record 2 on this one and 2 separate ones on this one.
Well, if they say you can record 6 shows, then you should turn off all your TVs in your house, turn on one TV, and hit record, change the channel, hit record, change the channel. Do that 5 times, and then you should be able to be watching 1 show and 5 shows being recorded.
Right.
If you can do that, then they met their end of the bargain. If you can't, then
all right, I'll try it out. Yeah, I'll have to look further into that. I'll let y'all know. Let y'all know what turns out.
Yes. Our audience is
they're on pins and needles.
That's right.
Waiting to see if I can record 6 programs.
Yeah, I doubt they're even watching.
I don't think there are even 6 programs to record at the same time that I would want to watch.
No, rarely. But there is often 4 TVs on in our house.
Right.
You know, like, well, I say often. Sometimes, like Gavin will be watching TV, Rachel will be watching TV. I might be in the office watching TV, and Monica might be in the bedroom watching TV.
Right.
Every now and then that happens.
Every now and then.
Every once in a blue moon.
Well, it's been fun. It's great to be back.
He's going to
See
shake
how
my
I turned
hand.
it? Shake.
I forgot to be cool.
Forgot to be cool. Boom. Love y'all. See y'all later.
Bye.
Peace out.
This is where you end the show.
Happy Mother's Day, guys.
True.
And girls.
Jack bitched about the mixer earlier.
And for you single fathers, happy Mother's Day to you too. If you're a father, you're raising.